Hey boys and girls, here is a project inspired by one of my favorite ballets as well as books, and that's the Nutcracker. We're going to create a paper Nutcracker soldier, and to do that we're going to start out with a 12 by 14 piece of paper with 2-inch wide strips that are also 14 inches, and we're going to put one at the top and one at the bottom, and with a glue stick or a glue bottle, whichever type of glue you have, you're going to glue those strips about 2 fingers down from the top on, and try to line it up exactly with the sides, and then 2 fingers up from the bottom. Now I'm going to take a 2x3 piece of skin tone paper, and that is whatever color skin tone you would like to make your Nutcracker. There's a lot of variety there. So I glue that, lining up the top with the bottom of my top strip of purple paper. Next is a 3x3. This is going to be the jacket or the shirt, and I'm going to line that up with the bottom of my rectangular face, and then right underneath that is another 3x3, and this is going to be the pants of the uniform. Next I have 2 1x2 pieces of black paper. These are going to be the boots for my soldier, so I'm going to line these up with the very bottom of my paper and glue those down. Next I have 2 red strips. These are 1x3 strips, and these are going to be the arms of my Nutcracker. Now let's make a hat. With this piece of paper, it's a rectangle right now, but there are a lot of different ways you could kind of jazz it up and make whatever kind of hat you want. It could be a Santa hat, it could be an elf hat, it could be a top hat like Frosty the Snowman might wear. It could be a soldier's hat, which is kind of what I'm going for, one of those big poofy tall hats. So create whatever kind of hat you would like. Now if you're making a themed Nutcracker, you might make a different kind of hat, like a ball cap or a helmet for maybe some sort of sports Nutcracker. So think about what you would like to theme your Nutcracker as and create a hat to match that. Now, the defining feature of a Nutcracker is the mouth, because it can open up really wide and close, so it looks like they're talking. So we're going to create a Nutcracker mouth with a 3x4 piece of paper, and we're going to round off the corners because lips are not, really sharp corners, and that will make it look more like a mouth opened up wide. So this is just a rectangle with rounded corners. That means to make them not quite so pointy all the way around, and go ahead and glue that down. It should overlap the shirt or jacket or coat just halfway. I'm going to start thinking about my eyes. Now you can do it 2 different ways. You could draw the eyes straight on the face, or you could cut them out. I like to cut them out. You can also make your eyes a few different shapes, like the football shape, or you can make them circular. I'm going to make my eyes by drawing a circle and cutting it out. I like that better, and I know that if I'm cutting it out, if I mess up, then I can have a second chance. So I'm going to draw 2 circles and cut them out first, and then draw the black circles on the inside for the pupil of my eye. Now that I have my eyes, before I glue those down, I want to go ahead and make the hair. if your Nutcracker has any hair showing beneath his hat. I'm just going to do a little brown zigzag line right underneath the edge of the hat. And this is another place where you can personalize your Nutcracker to your preference. If you would like her to have a ponytail, or if you would like him to have a certain really crazy hairdo, all of that is fine when it comes to making it your personal creation. Now that I have my eyes and hair, I am going to think about a few different features that I want to add to my Nutcracker. One of those is some trademark pink circles on the cheeks. Now, this is just something that is typically painted on a real sculpture, a wooden toy soldier. So if it's not something you want to add to yours, of course it's optional, but it is something that you would typically see if you were looking at a real Nutcracker. Now, I'll be honest, one of my favorite things to add to my Nutcracker is a mustache. It's kind of funny and adds just a quirky personality to the Nutcracker. So I am going to draw it out using a white color pencil on a black sheet of paper, using some curved fancy lines. This is just one way to make a mustache, so I'm going to draw it out and then cut it out. Now, if you don't really like that one, let me show you one more way that you can create a mustache. That is by taking a black skinny piece of paper, folding it in half, and basically just drawing a kind of rounded shape, and then cut it out from the fold, but don't cut the fold. Cut it out from the fold, and then when you unfold it, you'll have kind of that mustache shape. I think I like this one better, so that's the one I'm going to keep and glue down. Now I'm running a little short on space, so I'm just going to use a little U shape and draw my nose on. Of course, you can make a nose out of paper and glue it on, but for me, I don't have quite enough room. One more detail that needs to be added is the hands. There are a couple ways to make hands. I'm just going to do a circle, and this is also actually a typical trademark of Nutcrackers. They usually just have a circle little sphere as their hands instead of actual hands. So I'm going to use that and just make two circles for my hands. You could also do mittens if you would like to, or if you would like to make it a little more detailed, you could actually draw out two hands if you would like. The next feature I'm going to focus on is the teeth, and that is just a white rectangle that fits inside of the red shape that I cut for the lips. These teeth are going to be wide and a huge smile for the Nutcracker, so that really shows up. I also have a small skinny strip that I cut for a belt. Then I'm going to put a little rectangle in the middle for the belt buckle. That's just a nice little detail that you can add. To finish off my boots, I'm going to use a white color pencil. I'm drawing a half circle on each of my boots, and this is to make the front of the boot, the curved part, show up. Then I'm going to do just a little highlight on each of the boots because usually a soldier's boots are very shiny. I'm going to do some crisscross X's for the laces just to help those show up a little bit better, and some little circles for the holes where the laces go through. These are just nice details to help the viewer to realize that these are the shoes on my Nutcracker. I'm going to add a straight horizontal line for my teeth, and then just some straight vertical lines for the rest of the teeth. And that is the easy way to finish off the teeth. I'm also going to add some lines to help differentiate on the pants to show that the different pants legs, and some more crisscross lines on the suit jacket or the coat so that it looks like there is those laces on the front of the coat. On top of my soldier's suit jacket, I'm going to add some circles, and this is just to kind of show the top part of the shoulders, the shoulder guards on my Nutcracker's arms. think my hat needs a little pizzazz and something to make it a little less boring. So I'm going to add a rectangle and then another rectangle inside of it just to add a detail on the hat. And so it's not quite so plain, just to make this look like a buckle on the hat. Now I'm pretty happy with all the details, so now I'm going to double check myself. I'm going to pick up my paper and kind of bend it just to see if anything pops up. If there is a piece that's not glued down really well, I'm going to take this time to go ahead and glue it down really well and then flip it over and press down really good. That also helps. Now this is the point where I'm going to roll up my paper and create my nutcracker that will actually stand up. So I'm going to take it, roll it up, and staple the top and the bottom, and voila, I have a paper nutcracker. I can't wait to see what you guys create.